Hello, welcome to this week 10 C# support video for the Decoding RLE challenge. So the main thing to understand for this challenge is that RLE is run length encoding, which means that we have a sequence of characters which can potentially contain lots of repeating characters. And if it does contain repeating characters, then it's a good candidate to be compressed using lossless compression, a form of lossless compression, which is run length encoding, which means we can spot a character that repeats and write down what the character is that repeats and how many times it repeats. So for this challenge, we need to decompress it. So we start with an RLE decoded string, for example, 1B and then 2 Ws, and then return 1B and 2 Ws. So first of all, we're going to take the parameter that we receive, which is like this input data, and split it every time we come across a space. So let's see, input.split, and then split every time we have a space. That will return an array of strings, which we can then iterate through. So for each, let's call it pair, as in a pair of numbers and characters in that list of strings. And then for each one, we want to extract the number and the letter. So let's see, string repeats equals something, we don't know what yet. And sorry, it should be an integer, shouldn't it? String character, and then we want to be able to extract that too. It's not as straightforward as saying that the first character is going to be the number of times it repeats, because it might repeat, say, 10 or 1,000 times, which would be more than one character. So we'll use a regular expression for this. So let's see, if we have something like 99Z, we want to be able to extract the number, so that's going to be 0 to 9, which could occur more than once. And then we want to extract the letter, which could be a capital letter or a lowercase letter. And we want to be able to extract both bits of information separately. So I'll wrap them around in brackets so that the first whole match is going to be the whole thing. And then group 1 will be just the first set of brackets. Group 2 will be the second set of brackets. And that should work if we've got just a single number or as many numbers and as many letters as we have. That just repeats. Oh, interestingly, no, it should just be one character there, shouldn't it? Because it's just the one that repeats. Okay, so regex.match. The thing we're checking is pair. That's the string that we've extracted every time we split this input string. And we want to match it against this regular expression that we've just built up here. Plop that in there. Okay, match m equals. So now we can extract what we want from it. So m.groups1, so remember group 0 is going to be the whole thing. Groups 1 is going to be the number, so we'll get the value there. This group is going to be a string. Even though it contains numerical characters, we're going to need to convert it to an integer explicitly. So int.parse. There we go. But this time, because we just want a string anyway, and the output from our regular expression matches a string, we don't need to do anything with it. We can just do m.groups2.value. Okay, so once we've extracted the information that we need, we can use a for loop. So int I equals 0. I is less than the number of times our character repeats. Increment I by 1 each time. And then we can add on this character as many times as we need, because we've got a loop, onto, well, we need a string that we can add it onto. So string, let's call it RLE, and it's an empty string to begin with. But then we can say RLE will concatenate onto the end of it, we'll add it onto the end, that particular character. And then outside of our for loop, so after we've gone through all of the pairs of numbers and characters, then we should return that RLE string. Hopefully that'll do it, but we'll see. Oh dear, have I got it the wrong way around? Let's see. Okay, sorry, no, it's int rather than integer. Let's try again. No joy, RLE doesn't exist. It's because I've declared the RLE string inside the loop. We want to declare it outside of the loop, so it starts off being completely empty, rather than resetting it back to an empty string each time we have a separate pair. We don't want to do that. Yeah, excellent. So well done those of you who've already solved this challenge. The most important thing to remember is that RLE is a lossless compression algorithm which just spots repeated characters, and it encodes them by saying which character repeats and how many times it repeats.